Gilliland, Carl Edwards, Montoya, and Kevin Harvick made one lap, went back to the garage. Patrick Carpentier will get a pass-through penalty for a tire violation on his stop, and it moves Jamie McMurray into the lead for the first time tonight.
All right, Jamie Mack. We don't get a chance to talk about Jamie Mack much. Good job, buddy.
And Hornish, for the third time tonight, has bounced off the wall at turn 4.
He has worn that wall out.
No caution.
Not to mention the car.
Steve.
You saw David Reagan miss the entrance to pit road. His comment prior to that, leave the balance alone. Up 3 at the start of the run, but tight at the end. 4 tires for David Reagan in the 6.
And that's about what you're going to be here if you go a full fuel run, because it burns the fuel off, you gain all that nose weight, and it's going to get tighter, so you have to be a little free at the beginning.
Jamie McMurray, the leader. Paul Menard in second. Now, he was the driver that got the free pass on the last caution back at lap 149, a full fuel run ago.
Now, when we cycle through, which McMurray should pit here shortly, I think you're going to see him come to pit road now. Paul Menard will be there.
Slow down, get a road down, 4,400.
Greg Biffle will get the lead. The biggest reason, because of coming to pit road early, he got advantage of those fresh tires for those 7 or 8 laps. So he'll actually be about a second and a half in front of Martin Truex Jr. in the 1.
Yeah, that time of the pit stop didn't hurt a thing because he was about ready to make one anyway.
Dick.
Well, Jamie McMurray has struggled with his race car the entire time that they've been here, Mike. His worst ever Darlington start tonight, 25th. The car is fast, it'll be slow, it'll be fast, it'll be slow. They've worked on it since they've gotten here. And right now, it's pretty decent. 4 tire stop, just like almost everybody else.
Jamie Mack led 3 laps, and this will put his Roush Fenway teammate Greg Biffle back up front.
Yeah, honestly, the Roush Fenway cars, all 5 of them, other than Greg Biffle in the 16 that sat on the pole, the other 4 struggled in qualifying, and right now they've almost all worked their way, including Carl Edwards in the 99 we're riding with. They've almost all worked their way up into the top 15 as we're getting down now to about 150 laps to go.
Here, nice and smooth. Still got a long way to go.
Edwards is 15th at the moment.
I tell you, guys pushing hard again is this guy right here. He just pushed himself right up in the wall down here in 3 and 4. He caught up with Jimmy Johnson. You can see those look at those rotors glowing. Got a little bit loose, snapped it up in the fence. Away he went.
He's in 8th place.
Here he comes in here and he just gets loose. That's a hard lick.
It's a lot harder than what he hit it earlier.
Yeah, it's got to hurt. That's got to hurt something.
Kyle is 12 seconds off the lead, running in 8th place, challenging Johnson for 7th. So Greg Biffle, who thought he might be out of the race with a blown transmission, instead got 4 fresh tires and now finds himself back in the lead.
That's great. Let's try to fix this thing and put it back to where I can at least drive it. Nice and smooth. Keep coming. Clear. Yeah, nobody coming. Trying to catch all the guys in front of you. About the 2nd, 3rd best car right now, bud. Easy, easy. Come on, come on. No caution. Come on.
Radio communication, a big part of today's racing, as Greg Biffle, who's won 2 of the last 3 here at Darlington, leads Martin Truex by 3 seconds. And only 1 change in the top 7 or 8 Kyle Busch has passed Jimmy Johnson, moving him up to 7th place.
I think the old Biff's right rear tire was loose. That's what he was feeling vibrating.
Everything seems fine now as he's back out there in the lead. Communication so important in today's racing, as Jeff Hammond tells us in tonight's State Farm Safety Report.
Everyone knows that the key to success is through communication. Well, back in the beginning, the only way we could communicate in racing was through the old chalkboard. That's right, writing messages on a chalkboard. But today, with modern technology, when it comes to communication, you can see the 2-way radio, headsets in the pit, the driver's ability to be able to wear specially made ear moles. He can hear everything going on from the spotter as well as the crew chief simply by being plugged in, pushing a button on the steering wheel, and being able to talk and understand what's going on. Communication has always been the key to success, but also could be the key for safety.
Thanks, Jeff.
You know what? Talking about safety and communication, I wonder what these guys would feel like they had to race without a spotter.
Wow.
Because up until what, Larry, 80 something, middle 80s, latter 80s, we didn't have spotters.
We really didn't. We would find a cousin or a brother-in-law that happened to come to the race and say, hey, stand on the trailer, and if you see something out there, tell us.
See smoke.
Matt Kenseth may have cut a tire. That car suddenly slowed and was passed by Travis Kvapil for 10th place. Kenseth staying out.
I don't know.
Maybe not for long.
I think he's trying to figure out which one it is now. He's wiggling the car around a little bit there, but I wouldn't play around long if I were him.
Now, while this is going on, we talked about Paul Menard a while ago, right before making a green flag stop, was actually running in second. They are now pushing the 15 car down pit road, and he'll go to the garage area. Kevin Harvick in the 29 keeps going out and going back in, still trying to get that car right after hitting the wall hard off turn 2.
Well, this is a difficult place to ride around and stay out of the way. The track is so narrow, then when you drop down on the apron to try to get out of the way, you pick up all that debris on your tires, and you can't get up any speed. So it's a very difficult track to ride around on and stay out of the way.
The only place to be out of the way here is going out through the tunnel out to the highway.
Got a nice new tunnel here, I'll say that.
A lot of improvements here. We
so
talked about Labor Day weekend here, and Darrell, I know you're coming. There is no Labor Day race anymore at Darlington, but there's going to be
We're never going to make it.
Going to be a great vintage stock car reunion here at Darlington.
Whatever you got to do here.
Labor Day weekend.
17's got.
I'm going to bring my old Mercury down here. The first time I raced here was in my old Mercury, number 95.
David Pearson, Buddy Baker, Cotton Owens, a lot of the folks that helped make Darlington famous. And the fans are invited to gather for a great weekend of reminiscing about the Southern 500. Labor Day weekend here.
It's going to be like the old days. Go out here to the corner cafe and eat a hamburger steak smothered in onions, get some French fries, and come in here and talk racing.
In 2 weeks, NASCAR on Fox returns with stock car racing's longest night, the Coca-Cola 600. That's in 2 weeks. 1 week from tonight, it's the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race on Speed.
And just remember, like Kevin Harvick a year ago, $1 million to win that race, and it's all about winning. Nobody cares, no points paid for second on back. You know, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88 car, he was just passed a few laps ago by Kyle Busch in the 18, so Kyle has now moved in the 6th position. Kyle led a bunch of laps early in this race. 80 laps ago, had a lug nut missing. Fortunately, under a caution pit stop, had to restart back in 23rd, working his way toward the top 5. But Kyle really needs a caution, I think, to catch up because he's 11 seconds behind leader Greg Biffle right now.
But we haven't heard him complaining much here lately. He's been too busy.
He's working those hands.
Now, how about Matt Kenseth, who we saw slow on the racetrack, but he did not pit. Steve, what's up?
Mike, he doesn't really know. At first, he did say, I've got a flat tire. I'm not sure which one. Then there was some silence. He came back and said, it might be a loose wheel. The crew chief, Chip Boland, said, you make the call. Do what you have to do.
Right now, his lap time, Steve, they look good. Our leaders are running 29.80s and 70s. Matt Kenseth's lap by running in 11th was 29.88.
Car looks a little squirrely, though. He's kind of jumping sideways and moving around like something's wrong with it.
It's Chip Boland, who took over the crew chief duties for Matt Kenseth at the start of 2008. Chip has been with his team since its inception back in 2000 as the lead engineer and car chief. Robbie Reiser, who'd been there since the beginning, stepped down, took a team manager role.
I just don't like the way the car is jumping sideways kind of up off the corner, like it's almost got a loose wheel or something.
Well, there's 4 Roush Fenway cars in a row. There's Kvapil, the white car, then Kenseth in black. Here's David Reagan in red and white, and Carl Edwards right behind him. So all the Roushketeers, four out of the 5 in a row, and of course Greg Biffle leading. Nice run for Reagan tonight. 4th place as Dave Blaney powers past Jeff Gordon.
Where did Blaney come from, Larry? I mean, I know he's been running good all night, but goodness gracious, he just blew by Jeff Gordon and is up into 4th place. Dick, what they're saying down there?
They are saying race the racetrack, Darrell, just like in the old days. Blaney has been hot all night long. His lap times have been as good as, or even sometimes better than the leader. He qualified 13th. That's his best start of the year. This is absolutely his best run of the year. We remind you, Dave Blaney, with 277 starts in this series, has never won. Maybe tonight.
tell you one thing, he hadn't used up the side of it yet. He's got something to give yet.
Car's pristine on the right and left side.
Brand new race car. Saw the racetrack for the first time when the track opened on Thursday.
Blaney's race is to get into the top 35 in owner points. And Jeff Burton has just fallen one lap down. Now Burton's completed every lap this year so far. And he falls a lap to Greg Biffle, your leader.